Yeah, my punches are gonna have an exit wound.
I'm gonna lay with that city.
These are all people who I don't mind being my birth enemies.
You can see visible confusion on everyone's face because usually it's like croissants, muffins, donut holes, and your boys bring in raw beans. Hey, welcome back. How you been? What's going on?
Dude, I'm doing pretty good. Was the tournament ranch
Last
done
weekend?
between... Oh my... No, that wasn't last weekend.
I mean, it was like 1.5 ago, but yeah. We posted
Oh,
immediately
2
following
weekends
it.
ago. Yes, okay.
We had already recorded the other one and not yet recorded this one, so it was in between.
Wow. Yeah, we have the whole Tournament Ranch weekend that we hyped up on this podcast to discuss as well. I just realized that.
Or we could just not talk about it at all and they have to come in person next time if they want to see how cool it is.
But what about, there's no way that this tournament can host all of our many, many fans across the globe, dude.
We're going to have to rent out all of the adjoining ranches in the region, yeah.
Yeah, true. We might have to just rent out Texas.
I hear it is for sale. Just ask the governor.
Yeah, true. How much you think? What do you think the bidding starts at for Texas?
Ooh, it's a lot. Because they're going to say
Yeah.
that it's worth at least the cost of the other 49 states together.
Yeah, combined. That's true, yeah.
Plus $1 because Texas.
Yeah, right. But no tax because
So
Texas.
I think an easier way to go about pricing Texas is to do the math on how much we think the other 49 states are together, and
I
then
think
to
that's
add
a
$1.
lot easier. Yeah, that's true.
All right, now that we've wrangled the economists in the room,
Yeah. New York's going to be pretty pricey, I'll be honest.
at least 13.
Yeah, 13 for sure. $13. That's
that's the one.
definitely where it's going to start for New York. California's going to be cheap though. California, it's going downhill fast. It's a depreciating asset, as they say in the biz.
That's true. Although I want to remind you that 2012 and or Los Angeles with The Rock or whatever else isn't the way that that's going to go. We'll get big cracks, we'll get rising coastlines, but California isn't in fact just going to say peace and float away, because that isn't how continents work.
Okay, that's good to keep in mind. 'Cause that's
So
exactly
it will
what I
remain
thought was gonna
attached.
happen.
Yeah, it will
Okay.
remain attached.
All right, that brings it probably back up to like another $8.
But listen, if California was floating away, that's buyer's remorse for me. I don't know how you judge your purchases. I guess you could say you own
Yeah.
another island, but like a big perk of that is that it's drivable from the contiguous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why everyone hates Hawaii so much.
Fucking Hawaii.
Mhm.
Actually, I'm in an environmental threats to public health elective. Super fun, as flashy as it sounds. And one of the slides that the presenter today showed was a whole little artsy doodled Pinteresty map of ways that you can be better for the environment, from, travel to housing. And it got pretty like nitty gritty and into some specifics in terms of splitting off like car better than flight, better than whatever else. But that's the one that really caught my eye, because there's a lot of places that I've been to where, although it might be more environmentally friendly to drive there, the experience sounds like it would be a lot less pleasant.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Hawaii.
Yeah.
It's a good thought. Drive, don't fly, save on the relative amount of emissions. But
How do boats factor into this drive, not fly calculation?
the propeller spins, so that's technically a wheel. It's like a car with just one wheel, not four. So that's a drive.
Oh, okay. So that's even more fuel efficient then, or is it less?
Unless you have a whole bunch of
make a car more or less fuel efficient?
That's a great question. It's got to be a bunch of
Yeah.
intersecting curves, right? Like we learned about this shit in
Yeah, it can be
late high school
optimized.
math.
Yeah. And I would venture to say 4 might be the best number, but I guess, or no, it probably depends on the size of the car. Like an 18-wheeler.
What do you think the average
it's
number
gotta
of wheels?
scale.
The average number of wheels on a wheeled vehicle across the world. So you got those ultra heavy military things with like 36 wheels. You got 18-wheelers, 4x, 3-wheelers, dirt bikes, and motorcycles. What do you think the average number of wheels is? It's going to be weighted heavily towards 4.
Yeah, 4 and under. I'm gonna say it's gonna be like a 3 point something. Just
I
because
don't
there's
know,
so
dude.
many bikes and motorcycles out
But
there.
there's so much shipping. Like,
Yeah.
and by shipping I mean not propeller wheels on boats, but
Yes, yes. Of
trucking
course.
shipping. Like, also that moves, you know, ridiculous, unfathomable tonnage of goods across almost all the countries. Like, there's a
Yeah,
lot of
true.
18 wheelers. Wait, we have the beautiful internet. I'm going to go to askjeeves.com.
Hmm.
Do you remember when Jeeves was a thing?
Oh yeah, the little butler man.
Oh, the little butler man. Okay,
Yeah.
so about 2 million active semi-trucks and over 5 million active semi-trailers.
Okay. Okay.
So an appreciable amount. Now, and I think those are U.S. numbers. Yeah, those are U.S.
Right.
numbers. So how many motorcycles? We do need to consider, though, in a lot of countries, think like Malaysia, Laos, Thailand,
Hmm.
a lot of motorcycles, a lot of
Yeah.
mopeds, not a lot of semis.
As a member of the best country in the entire world, let's just focus on America right now, and we can
Ooh.
expand out after.
Okay, so 8.32 million units in the U.S. in 2020.
8.32 million motorcycles.
Motorcycles. So if there's 2 million
Okay.
semi-trucks and there's a surplus of semi-trailers, those only have like 8 of them or whatever.
Well, let's not forget about bicycles.
That's not motorized vehicle.
Oh, motorized.
Except for those
okay.
weird
I
little
missed
douchebags that get something in between where it's like a bicycle frame with a little putt-putt motor on it.
that. Yeah, yeah, right, right.
Get a motorcycle or pedal it yourself.
Okay, what about mopeds?
No, stop. I'm running the numbers
What
here.
about
832. We got just over 8 million bikes, 2 million trucks, 5 million trailers. The trailers usually have 8 to 12 wheels. The trucks have,
Mhm.
I want to say, like 6 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
Doing the math up, we have at least 2 million full sets of 18 wheelers, which is if you divide it by 4.5 wheels per motorcycle of 2 wheels. So
Okay.
semis versus motorcycles, semis are pulling it.
Right.
They're weighting it upwards of 4.
Okay. Okay. But what about Lime scooters? They're scattered all about different
Ooh,
cities.
do we count electric? Aren't we? This is for our bid on Texas, right? That we're doing this math.
Somehow, yes. Yeah.
Just to make sure that the
Yeah.
end goal is still in sight.
Right. 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 No. This was completely different. This was fuel efficiency of how many wheels are fuel efficient. We may have lost the plot somewhere.
Average
along
number
the
of
way.
wheels on a motorized vehicle the world over,
Yeah.
I think. That was the question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and say less than 4. I'm gonna say like
I'm gonna
3.8,
say-
3.85.
Yeah, I'm gonna say slightly less than 4, but it's gonna be closer to 4 than any other whole number that's ever existed.
Not even the other whole numbers that have yet to
Not
exist.
even 3. Not even 3. Not even 5.
That's a good Monty Python bit you got going.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So then, you wanted to talk about Tournament Ranch. How was your experience? Did my hype adequately do it justice? Did I
Dude,
oversell
yeah.
it?
It was a ton of fun, dude. Honestly, it was just nice to be outside in the sun. I came back, and for a little bit, it was like 50s and 60s when I got back, and this whole week has just been stupidly freezing for no goddamn reason, so...
It's almost
Uh,
April, my guy.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Connecticut's got to get its fucking act together. But yeah, dude, just being like out in the sun, swimming in the pool, going in the hot tub, like without a shirt and just running around at full speed on the earth. It was quite the experience.
It was primal.
Yeah, exactly. It was primal. Dude, that's something I thought about recently. Like
Living like Dylan?
just in general, it just feels good sometimes to just sprint as fast as you can and jump as high as you can and push things as hard as you can. Just like,
I like
we're
to
in this
push. What's your hobbies?
we're
Push.
yeah, exactly, pushing, jumping, running. Just we have these like bodies made of meat that can do things, and it's like, God, I want to see how hard I can do things. I want to just see like the full output of this thing that I'm in.
Yeah, this meat mech we're driving.
Exactly. Yeah, I want to see. Like, I recently started. I just picked up a new hobby of boxing, and like,
Ooh.
yeah, just like punching things. I've never really like punched things before, and it feels good to just like throw fists at like a bag and be like, I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So you're enjoying the boxing?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm very bad at it, and I keep getting told I need to loosen up. But I don't know how much Naruto you've watched, but I feel like Rock Lee, where he literally just stands in a field next to a wooden post and throws 1,000 punches. That's kind of just like what I was envisioning as I'm just like punching this thing over and over and over again.
It's all about the repetition, baby.
Yeah.
You watch why am I blanking? Oh, it was Hunter x Hunter. Did you watched all of Hunter x Hunter, right?
Yeah, I did.
Chairman Netero's fucking youth and adult life.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Just throwing that shadow punch literally an infinity number of times.
Yeah, until the point, yeah, and just praying between every punch.
Till the universe basically collapses on where he punches. Yeah, that's you.
Yeah.
I bet it works just like that. If you do every day
Yeah.
100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, a 10-kilometer run, dude, you're going to be knocking dudes' blocks off.
Yeah,
Stephen Webb
basically,
versus
yeah.
Canelo Alvarez for the average weight title between them.
Yeah, my punches are gonna have an exit wound, but I but yeah, dude. So Tournament Ranch, great time. Also, just like fun to get away for a weekend with like a bunch of people all around our age, just like drinking, partying, having a good time. It's not something you get to do all that often anymore.
Yeah, maybe about once a year, one good one a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, last year we did our ski trip around February time, so same
Yep.
idea.
Yep.
And this year it was the ranch for sure. I don't have another until at least next year. I guess we'll see who takes point on the next one.
Yeah, true. Yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna be going down to New Orleans in June.
Ooh,
So
I've
that'll
still
be a
never
good time.
been. Oh, dang
Yeah,
it.
me neither. Should be a grand old time.
We're still planning to hit Mardi Gras 2024.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Perfect.
I'll know the city by then.
It's New Orleans. Still.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
always
Well,
New Orleans, Steve.
I'll know it inside and out, though, is what I mean. I'll know it biblically.
I'm going to lay with that city.
I will lay with that city and make it my own.
Time to consummate that marriage. Yes. Should we run through our little tournament as it is, so that I don't know, a business plug for our millions of rabid fans to go and rent the property out?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's only one game that really needs to be detailed. Everything else can just kind of be like,
Oh yeah, we played.
tell the title of it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There was Ramp Shot, which actually that was the first time I'd ever heard of Ramp Shot.
Mhm.
Basically like cornhole. We also had cornhole. Badminton, darts,
Shuffleboard.
beer pong, shuffleboard, yep. Trivia. Trivia was good. That's one that we could probably get into. But the crowning event of the entire entire tournament was definitely the relay race.
I want you to tell it. I'll fill in if you get stuck, but I've retold it a couple times and I want to hear your version. I want to live through it.
Sure. So I mean, overall, the events were pretty simple. Started with a quick little cornhole game where you just had to make 2 cornhole shots between you and your partner. Followed by an egg carry, I guess it would be called, where you have a little egg in a spoon. You have to get to your partner, and then your partner has to get back to the starting point without dropping an egg. All the while, one of the other teams is throwing little dodgeballs at you. Which, to be fair, I think the entire day, only one person dropped an egg. Wasn't me, because I'm a pro. Afterwards, you had
Pretty
to...
sure it was
what
John, wasn't it?
It was John, yes.
Yeah.
Friend of the pod. Afterwards, you had to chug half a beer, and then there was a dartboard on which you had to hit 5 specific targets before you can move on. Then it was 10 push-ups, followed by a cinder block carry around a well. How long would you say that walk was with the cinder block?
Wasn't crazy. It was maybe like 150 foot total, 200 foot total.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing wild. And then was the heartbreaking round of the relay race, the game of memory, in which there were 17 buckets, and each one had an item underneath, and there were pairs of items. Once you discovered a pair, you got to take that pair, those two buckets, out of the group, and then you got to try to find another one. But every time you didn't find a pair, you had to take a full sprint down the long ass driveway and come back before you could try again.
That one was
and
closer
also,
to like 50 yards each way.
Yeah, exactly. That was a deep run. And also underneath some of these buckets were little drinking challenges, where if
There was push-ups.
even yeah, exactly. But even if you were to match them, you would still have to do the drinking challenge. And if you didn't match them, the challenge stayed under there for you to pick up at least one more time until you matched it. And I will say, I was pleasantly surprised with my running endurance, considering I haven't been doing much cardio at all these past months, maybe year. But the combination of doing so many sprints and also having to like chug a
beer through a straw.
beer to a full beer through a straw between sprints, that didn't exactly sit right with me. And then once you finished that full memory game, which for most people took like at least half the time of the entire relay race, you
Took
had
us
to
a
do
little
a
longer.
30-piece puzzle. Yeah.
Yeah. Succinct. Well said. It was all
Thank
kind
you.
of Storm the Castle themed. Black Knight was the dart targets. Squire training was the push-ups and run. But yeah, you captured the spirit of the thing for sure.
Yeah. I got the. I was more of a nuts and bolts kind of explanation.
Oh, and we also had moments of truth throughout the day.
Yes. Right.
Which
Yeah.
were just all or nothing in a single shot. Bonus point opportunities for your team. Make a little foam basket hoop shot from like an 8-foot mark while everyone else is trying to distract you. Yeah. Stuff like that. Dart shot, roll a dice, get a target, hit it. Nailed both of those.
Hell yeah.
Not much else in the day, but nailed those.
Oh, wait a sec. I just remembered something.
Uh-oh. Right. Oh, this is the highlight of the video edition of this podcast. If you weren't watching it and were only listening, you might want to go check it out because, yeah, this is where the money hits the pavement.
Zane, give me a drum roll.
Here he is, drum rolling, Pajama Pants Steve.
The winner of this tournament. I bet this will be flipped on camera, but...
Nope, it's good on mine.
Oh, perfect. You will see that, of course, the Ultimate Man had won this championship of Ultimate Masculinity. And I was able to bring the trophy home because I was the only one with a checked bag.
That's how you think he won. He just had the checked bag and got to carry it home.
But yeah, me and my partner Dovahkeen were sipping out of this all night long. It was quite the beautiful moment. What's funny too is we clinched it before the last game was even over, and I think at that point it was very late. Everyone was very drunk, and although there were still 3
beer
games
pong
of
was
beer
not
pong
really
to be played,
that kind of fizzled out, I think.
Exactly.
It was the perfect amount of tournament.
Yeah, I feel like everyone was just pretty done with the tournament at that point, but yeah, it was a rip roaring good time, and it was literally like all day long. It started at like
10 a.m. and we finished at like 9:30 p.m.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Would have been 10 p.m. if we had finished those games of beer pong.
Yeah, exactly. Especially since we were all getting worse at beer pong as the tournament was going on.
Oh, yeah. And I think the title of this episode might need to be Championship of Ultimate Masculinity.
Yeah, I think so.
There you go. Doing your work for you. At some point, I'm going to jump up and throw my headphones down and run out for like 30 seconds because your boy cooking beans.
Oh, boy. Oh,
yeah.
Man, I got to cook something.
The environmental threats to public health elective that I mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I found out how god dang good for you beans are. And in particular,
Really?
if you buy them, yeah, apparently like legumes, beans, maybe the most nutrient dense and like mineral filled. Like if you're going to eat a single food, beans are a pretty good option. So,
Huh.
I figure I can do less like carbs and grains and more beans as my meat accoutrement.
Yeah, for sure.
And excuse me. I bought a whole bunch of beans because coincidentally last week we also had a Pillars, the small group case-based course. We had a Pillars case called Failing Beans. It's a kidney failure case, but they're trying to get a little funny with the naming of the cases. So
Right,
we opened
of
up the
course.
Failing Beans document, and I had chuckled all week about failing beans. That was our Friday case, and we have someone in my group bring food every Friday so that the 7 or 8 of us have like coffee and snacks to go with our last mandatory class of the week. And I surprised them all by running in a minute late to class and just dropping a pound of like raw beans on the table in a bag,
Right.
but you know,
Of
just
course.
like a sack of small kidney beans or whatever.
Yeah. Good prop comedy.
Yeah. And then it's a 2-hour course, so like 30 minutes later, I was like, oh wait, sorry, I forgot. Ran out to my locker, grabbed 2 more bags of Great Northern beans and navy beans and dropped those on the table too. There we go. And you can see visible confusion on everyone's face because usually it's
Right.
like croissants, muffins, donut holes, and
Not dry.
your boys bring in
beans.
raw beans. They thought I was going to pull out an Instant Pot.
No.
No. We hit our
No, I
halfway
like 'em
point
this
where we
way.
take like a 5-10 minute break in the middle of the 2-hour class. And I come back from my locker with a 2-pound bag of beans. Like, all right, and that's all the snacks that I have. And they're like, maybe visibly disappointed at this point.
Right.
Which is when I pull out the thing of blueberry donuts and croissants that I also brought because I'm not a fucking psychopath.
Right.
And a thing of coffee because that's a bean. But,
yeah. True.
But now I have like 5 pounds of raw beans that I need to cook because the nutritional
Yeah.
value, again, through the charts.
Yeah, right. And also just the monetary value that you've spent on these beans can also not go to
$6-7
waste.
bucks. They're actually super affordable. You can get a pound of beans, raw beans, which get real big, I now know.
Yeah.
And, it's like $1.18 or something for a pound of beans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm saying. And then I today figured, I'm having burgers. I can make some beans.
Hell yeah.
I'll rip open the first bag. I read the back and it says, to soak, put in 6 to 8 cups of hot water and leave overnight. Like, huh. And then there's
These are
cooking
not quick
instructions.
beans.
No. There's a speedy soak option where you boil them for 2 minutes and then let them sit covered for another hour. Then they've been soaked, which is just conditioning. This is like the precursor to the main event. These aren't yet cooked beans. They're just now wet beans.
Yeah.
Drain it, rinse it, put it in, again, like 6 cups of water and let it simmer for an hour and a half with the pot cracked. So I've been
Damn.
cooking beans for like 3 hours tonight. I thought I was going to be done before this podcast kicked off, but
No, sir.
I'm waiting for the Google timer because this process began 3 hours and 12 minutes ago, and it's almost finished.
Yeah, you got some needy beans, dude.
Needy beanies, baby.
Yeah, they ain't speedy, they just needy.
Nice bars.
Yeah,
You
that
still
was
on
free
Rap
bars,
Chat?
huh? I do still have Rap Chat, yeah.
Are you sending sweet nothings to all of your closest friends?
Yeah, no, I debuted my classic single, "My Mom's Doing My Taxes," to a special lady in my life recently.
Was it your mom? Did she do your taxes? It is that
It was
season.
not. Yeah. No, my mother she's never done my taxes, so she'll never get to hear that song until it's actually on the top of the charts, and I have no choice but to show it to her.
How did you stumble on those lyrics anyway? I forget.
Literally just one day at cheer practice, a friend of ours, a fellow cheerleader, said that her mom was doing her taxes, and it just
Right.
it struck me rhythmically,
Jalur?
and I don't know why. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it just the
Mom's
way
doing
she
my
said
taxes.
it just hit my ears in the right way. Yeah.
Inspiration,
That I was like-
Steve. You're a genius.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You're
and then I had a
1,000 IQ is showing.
And then I had like a 4-hour leadership seminar, and they gave us all notepads and pens, and I could not be bothered to pay attention, and this was stuck in my head, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna write a song.
Why haven't you written us like a custom intro yet? We could put someone on Fiverr to sing it, perform it. Why don't you write some lyrics? Can you write some lyrics for a couple of we're 120 something episodes in.
I would need to be inspired, dude. I would need to be inspired. Plus,
my
like,
fella's
how many
doing my taxes? Go write some lyrics.
How many podcasts have like actual songs and not just like instrumentals with maybe some like sampled vocals in there?
Two Bears, One Cave, and Flagrant 2, which are 2/3 of the big, like, most frequent podcasts I listen to, both do.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. There's a couple podcasts I listen to where every week they have their fans submit a new intro and outro theme song. Insane.
The reason I don't think we can do that is because if we opened it up for submissions like that, we would have so many tens of thousands that it would be impossible to do them justice and pick.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be like too many choices.
We'd be like 3 years in, and if people were still submitting new songs, they'd be dead before they ever actually hit the air.
Oh, for sure. Like, twice dead. Like, dead, and then we might have to go kill their kids.
We might have to start doing songs before our ad breaks, in the middle, like, and after. Just
ooh, we should be doing our ad breaks again. I could use that supplemental income.
Yeah, that's true. Every time I upload an episode on Sounder, it, like, has the option to monetize, and I'm like, maybe one day when I'm not rushing this fucking thing out, I'll consider actually monetizing this. I think I saw on our Sounder balance, I think we had like 21 cents.
Holy in our shit, balance. It's happening.
Yeah, dude, exactly. That's real money. Except they only ever do a deposit once it rounds to $1, or once it like gets past $1. But still,
at this rate,
we're on our way there.
We've only spent $300 or $400 on equipment over the years.
Exactly, dude. we're almost in the black, dude.
I heard my beans. Go vampire yourself.
Gotcha. Another cozy sesh with just Steve while Zane heads out. Oh, I can see Freya blurry in the background. But yeah, I hope everyone's liking this little 2-week schedule, this bi-weekly schedule that we got going on. Which, fun fact, bi-weekly means both twice a week and every other week. When I say it, of course, I mean the lazier version in which we are doing once every other week. But yeah, I think it lets us bring some more heat to the podcast. We get to record a little bit longer. We get a little bit more space and hopefully a little bit more time in the editing bay to bring everyone out there a perfect product. But also that means that scheduling-wise, we are no longer recording on Sunday nights / Monday evenings before the episodes go up. So, if anyone out there wants to get on an episode, it's way easier for us to, get you on, record it. And yeah, we're talking about monetization now. Could you guys imagine if this bullshit was our full-time job? What a dream that would be. But it looks like Zane's
Freya's coming in.
Back to business, everybody.
Welcome
back, buddy.
Look, baby's first beans.
Wow. Can I get a live review of these beans?
I didn't know how you eat raw cooked kidney beans, so I just put some salt in.
Yeah, salt ought to do it. I might have thrown in some pepper too, but salt's definitely the most important.
A little dented.
Okay, that's
I'm gonna go put them back on.
Okay, gotcha. And we're back. Oh, he turned off his camera this time. Now it's really intimate and personal. I won't even know when he's back. There's a good chance that Zane gets back to this podcast and is just listening to me talking endless shit about him, because I can't even see when he's gonna turn his camera back on. But yeah, Tournament Ranch, I gotta say it was an honor to win. To everyone out there who ever feels like, they're behind the eight ball, like they can't do it, like they can't compete, I want you guys to know that early on in the day, I got last place. I was dead last in this tournament early on in the day, but what I didn't let that do was discourage me from giving the rest of the games my all. It would have been very easy to, I will say, a whole day of drinking, a whole day of debauchery in the hot sun, very little water. It just, the defeatist mindset would have been very easy to take up, and I think that would have been the default to take up, but I refused, of course. I found some new talents. Turns out that I'm an excellent darts thrower, and yeah, at the end of the day, the resilience that I showed paid off in dividends. And if you are watching the video version of this podcast, just the proof is in the pudding. That's all I gotta say.
It's beans. Bean pudding.
Bean pudding, exactly.
That's got to be a kind of English food.
Bean pudding. Well, yeah, they love their different. They like bread pudding, blood pudding. Bean pudding has got to be in there.
It's the most British thing I've ever heard.
Also, black pudding, I think, is a thing, and there's black beans. It's right there. If it's not, it should be. They've missed the golden opportunity.
Some of them aren't so bad.
Okay.
Now let's see if I overcook the rest.
Some of the British or some of the beans?
Both. A little burning at
Okay.
the steak never did them wrong.
That's true. Well, I mean, what else do you do with witches? Just let them cast spells on your whole family? I don't think so.
Ruin the harvest? No.
Yeah, please. What are you they're witches, dude. Come on.
Don't be fucking reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, what's next? We're gonna let gremlins into our homes, too? I don't think so, bro. I don't think so.
Get them wet, feed them after
Yeah.
midnight. Oh.
No, they're gone. Witches are gone. Ghouls, ghosts, goblins, gremlins, witches, warlocks, wizards. I don't want any of them around my family, okay?
Damn, I said write a song and you dropped bars.
Yeah. I'm telling you, the inspiration just comes to me. I watched that Beatles documentary.
Yeah, you've been playing a lot of Wordle.
Yeah, oh my god, dude, I had like an 80+ perfect Wordle streak, and I lost it recently.
What was the
So
word?
the word was found, and my second guess was mound. I went from mound, bound, wound, round, and then I must have done it one more, and then
So that's why
it was wrong.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why the strategy would be to get more letters more than necessarily keep the ones that you already have.
100%. Whatever letters it could have been, I should have guessed a word that they were all in, but
You tried
I was
every
playing
other
hard
possibility.
I was playing Wordle hard mode, and it screwed me.
Wild.
Yeah.
Loser.
Ooh, the other game I've been playing recently that I've been meaning to play for the longest time is Ghost Runner.
Rage Shadow Legends.
No, they're the sponsor of the show, but not what I've been playing. But yeah, dude, Ghost Runner, fucking awesome. Awesome game. It's brutally difficult, but when you do figure out like a level, you feel like such a badass, dude. It is. You're just like free running, slashing your sword, dodging bullets left and right, like jumping from wall to wall and all over the place, and oh my god.
Is there any way that you can share or cast your PlayStation feed so I could watch that in the background of doing homework?
That's a good question. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I'm fairly sure you can. I think I had some friends who were doing that.
Are you going to play a little bit of that after we record?
Yeah, I can play tonight. Yeah, for sure.
Oh! I'm eating beans!
The only thing is, like
fella
I said,
eating beans!
it's really cool when you do the cool stuff, but a lot of the game is fucking up and trying again.
Do you get a replay when you do it right?
No, I don't think so.
You don't watch yourself?
No, that would be pretty neato, but yeah, we'll see if I can figure out how to stream it through PS5. I think you can.
That'd be a really missed opportunity if they didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Jesus, I'm wearing my beans.
But yeah, that, and then like Jake was talking about last week, one day I'll get into Elden Ring, but I prefer to stay a year behind the curve when it comes to video games.
Especially ones that are popular and people play online together with friends at once.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah, I mean Elden Ring, dude, it's just so big. Like Ghost Runner's a pretty small game. On how long to beat, I think it's like 6.5 hours on average. But
not if you
Elden Ring
suck like you.
Yeah, well, but yeah, Elden Ring is it's so big. I'm like intimidated by it.
Ooh, I'm gonna go to how long to beat right now, and we can look real quick. Ghost Runner is 6.5 hours for main story. Completionist 12.5.
Yeah.
Elden Ring. Oh my God, we did a completionism. The first one I've done in years. We finished
at
the
true.
ranch after 2 years, more or less, of working on that. A year and a half at least.
Yeah, yeah. Because did we
a decent chunk of Massachusetts? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was what I was gonna ask. Mm-hmm. Okay.
We finished Super Mario
3D
New
World.
Super Mario 3D World on the Switch. Yeah.
Dude,
anyway,
it was so funny how long we were trying to beat that last level, and then we're like, okay, dude, we finally got some time. We're at the ranch, like, maybe we'll recruit some people, but, like, let's hole up in here for a while. And then we beat it in, like, 5 minutes.
We literally planned to spend, I don't know what you were thinking. We didn't put a number to it, aside from a while, but I was expecting to sit there for 3 or 4 hours even. It was like mid-late afternoon, like nothing really happening yet. We weren't lighting the fire off. Like I was ready to sit there from whatever it was, like 2:30 until 6 or 7.
Until like dinner time, yeah.
Exactly. When either we were so fed up or other stuff was really kicking off or we got pulled away because food. Exactly. And then maybe 10 or 15 tries. You're right. Literally maybe 10 minutes. Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just like, oh, huh. I guess we did it. Yeah.
And that's where the journey ends.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Mario games, when you beat them, are very anticlimactic. There's not really a ton of fanfare to like 100%ing them, other than the satisfaction of beating them 100%.
Yeah. You did it. You get whatever the last sticker is, or whatever the last Odyssey costume is.
Yep. Look at your checklist. It's full. Congrats.
Doesn't that feel nice? Isn't that OCD itch scratch? Do you feel a little less hollow for the time being? Spend another $60 on a 4-year-old game.
Buy our next checklist coming out in 2 years.
That was not a 2D Mario game, which was important for me by a lot. I think we've seen the difference in my game between 2 and 3 dimensions for Mario. But I enjoyed that enough that I would complete another Mario game with you. I don't know which. If like Sunshine or Universe or whatever it is, Galaxy, if either of those are 2-player in a balanced way, I hear incredible things, and I've played neither.
Galaxy, the only 2-player is like one person plays as Mario and then the other person plays as a cursor on screen that collects star bits. Not exactly what you're looking for, yeah.
Anyway, Elden Ring's main story is 49 hours and Completionist is 114. So yeah, it's about 10 times the size of Ghost Runner, 8 to 10 times.
I don't know if I wouldn't need to like complete Elden Ring, but I mean that's a game about exploring. It's like Breath of the Wild. I wouldn't say I 100%ed it, but like I did a lot of fucking shit in that game. I just need another pandemic. I need like another serious lockdown where I can't leave and I can't see people, and then I'll play Elden Ring. Is that so much to ask, dude?
I mean, we can make that happen.
Yeah, that's true. We could. I'm just too lazy.
Okay, looking at the top Mario games on the Switch, Odyssey, for sure. That's fair. If we're willing to risk bricking our Wii, we could play Odyssey together in multiplayer for real. There's a bunch of streamers I know that do, but you know, it's like we've both jailbroken a bunch of devices. It's similar-ish.
Allegedly.
I think a little less severe, but we could do that in true multiplayer, or one of us could be a hat. Kind of lame. Mario Maker. I don't think I'm good enough at 2D to make it sense in buying a build your own 2D.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mario
Mario
Kart-
Maker.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Mario Maker. A lot of the more fun levels are very difficult, and there are some that are designed for 2-player, but I feel like most of the time, most of those levels that you'll come across online are not designed for multiplayer.
And we don't have the kind of time to play together where I want to spend 300 attempts to beat one level.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so, meh. Mario Kart, that's like a specific when you're with friends. Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. It's kind of easy and childish, but I actually have that, and it's supposed to be super fun. If you want to play this, like, E10 and up game, it's like a Mario Rabbids crossover strategy. Like,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
like
all the Final
XCOM.
Fantasy game. Yeah, kind of. Yes, it's like XCOM.
Yeah, or like Fire Emblem. Yeah, it's like turn-based strategy.
Yep.
Yeah.
We could play that one. That's an option.
Is that co-op?
I'm almost certain, because you're controlling usually multiple characters. Well, I guess if it's turn-based, it isn't really, huh?
Yeah.
I think you can each... Maybe. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, Mario, it's not looking great. Super Mario Bros.
Yeah.
3, that's 2D. That's hard.
Yeah.
New Super
All
Mario
the 2D
Bros.
ones are going to be co-op. U is also going to be co-op 2D.
2D. Super Mario Party, that's not a campaign. Super Mario Bros. I'm not playing tennis. Paper Mario, the Origami King.
Yeah, it's definitely single player.
Shit. It's another Odyssey style.
It's like an RPG.
So 3D All-Stars is Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Galaxy. All of which I hear are great, but I haven't played any of.
Yeah, also all single player.
Yep, nope, that's basically the whole list of the Switch Mario lineup. I guess it's not
Dang
happening.
it.
Yeah, man. Sad. Okay, so we did have a main event for this podcast that we talked about doing for months now, maybe. I've had these tabs queued up. I'm ready to clear them off. But on one of these windows, there was a pop-up ad, not for hot singles in my area or MILFs that want to chat.
Right.
It was what celebrities are born the same day as you. And I thought that might be a fun diversion for us to look at.
I think I know one for me.
Do you want to pull yours up, or shall I after mine? Because I'm looking through this, and I'm pretty cool with it.
We'll do after yours.
Okay, so should we go in like chronological, or like least cool to most cool, or what? Well, some of these I don't know, but okay, you ready for these good-ass ones?
Yeah.
Dennis Wilson, Beach Boys drummer.
Okay.
Solid.
Solid, for sure. Friends of John Stamos.
Marissa Tomei, Hot Aunt May.
Yeah. Also a Seinfeld bit.
Tyra Banks, supermodel.
Okay.
TV
Yeah,
reality
okay.
host.
Nice.
Jeff Bridges.
Ooh, a solid get. That's
and
a good
Jay-Z. And Jay-Z.
one. Wow. Okay. That's a pretty quality list. Pretty good list.
I fucking know, baby, right? And in case you want to know who died on December 4th, they have a list for that too.
Sure.
And you know what's awesome?
Opposite people. Who? What?
The only one I got was Frank Zappa. Everyone else I didn't recognize at all. So this is a perfect win. December 4th,
Okay.
best day.
Yeah, best day. Confirmed.
I'm celebrating that as a holiday and also my birthday. It is the holiday best day on account of other people's births and deaths, and then it's also my birthday.
Yeah, I'll celebrate Frank Zappa's death any day. Well,
Cardinal
one day,
Richelieu, the power behind the throne of Louis XIII.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah. Louis XIII was a
I'm
bad
glad he
guy.
died.
Yeah. All the Louis were bad.
Thomas Hobbes, an English philosopher.
Oh, okay. Thomas Hobbes is a pretty cool guy.
Okay. Hannah Arendt, the author of 1951's The Origins of Totalitarianism.
Hannah
Get
Arendt.
dead.
Okay. Yeah. Totalitarianism's chill.
Fred Hampton, he's a Chicago Black Panther that was murdered by the police in 1969, and in the movie The Chicago 7, Sacha Baron Cohen, law drama. It's really good, actually. It's like Vietnam-era Black Panther Chicago protest stuff. Fred Hampton is a name I do kind of ish recognize, so that kind of counts. And then,
I was about to make fun of him, and I'm glad I wasn't racist.
And the last one here is Stella Walsh. and I'm quoting, the female Olympic sprinter who turned out to be a man.
That narrative may be different today.
Yeah, well, important to note is that they died in 1980.
They. Safe.
Yeah. 1932 Olympic gold and silver medalist. Ran as a female, but was a man in disguise.
Right.
I guess.
According to the people at the time.
No, wait, maybe not. Who turned out to be a man? Wait. How did this website cite this? As I Google... Oh, wait, intersex Olympic champion. Yeah, no, you're right. The website was just writing it in a super bigoted way.
Interesting.
I wish I had done the digging before that.
That's a hot debate right now.
That's
we
what
might
you get
not
for doing
want
it
to touch that
live.
one on the... Yeah, we might not want to. We might want to touch that debate on the podcast.
I mean, either you can edit it out, or we can blame the
Oh
website.
no, I'm fine.
Who2.com.
I'm fine having it come up. Yeah.
Yeah, Who2.com phrased it that way. Who2 biographies.
Gotcha.
What are you? Oh God, you can. So many of my friends are all in October. Mel, you guys
October
are all
21st.
Oh, that was my favorite. That was my guess for you, because 23rd is Ken, and Mel's is like 19 or something. 21st was what I thought it was, but you're all within like 4 or 5 days, and it makes it hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a lot of friends with very close birthdays to me.
I'm actually going to make you suck a butt for a second, and I'm going to pull my beans off for real this time. 1 second.
More beans? This guy can't stop
I put them back on
beans.
the burner because they were a little dented.
Oh, boy. Man, I hope that the whole audience here isn't getting sick of me yet. And I'm going to be honest, after talking about the tournament, I might just be straight up out of things to talk about. But, yeah, so we're coming live. And by live, I mean pre-recorded, edited, and everything bad taken out at you every other week now. Tell us what you guys want to see, too. If there's any bits that you guys like that we do, any segments you would like to come back. I mean, we're always looking to, try to add a little bit of structure, I'll be honest. I'm definitely worse on the structure side. Okay, a little peek into my brain. I work hard in sprints, but when it comes to overarching work ethic, that's kind of not my thing. So every once in a while, I'll come with a pre-prepared game or, full episode segment, like when we did the alignment charts, when we did the Disney brackets, things like that. But when it comes to actually planning long-term stuff, that's not my thing. So yeah, let us know what you want to see more of, and we're happy to do it.
It's all bean to me, baby.
All beans, yeah. Beans all the way down.
Beans top to bottom. All right, you ready, baby? You ready? You ready to see who was born on your day?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Oh, you want to know the reason why? I bet you your death days are also lamer than my birthdays, and I think it's because most of the people who have been truly famous are alive now or only recently died. You know what I mean? Like because of of the rise of social media and the internet and TV and movie and cinema, and everything else,
culture in general,
and world borders melting, more people are famous, like increasingly, than have ever been the case in any previous period in history. Like in the 20s, there were 15 famous people.
Yeah, right.
So people who you're gonna get famous people born or famous people died. There's way more people who are currently famous who were born recently enough to be alive than who have been famous and also died by now to be in these logbooks, which is why a bunch of them are from like the 1600s.
Yeah, right.
So
yeah, like back in the 20s. Back in the 20s, there was only so much radio time, and if you couldn't fit on the radio, you weren't going to be famous.
I've told you about Time Suck before, and like 2 weeks ago, he did an episode on Betty White, and it's perfect. It's not a true crime one. It's not like a mythological, like go listen to that because it's a decent enough intro to the podcast and he does a good job of it and she's so fucking cool.
Okay.
Like, dude, Betty White's goddamn amazing. You know how I was saying, why am I blanking right now? Who's the star guy? That Carl Sagan is like maybe the closest thing I have to a celebrity idol. Or like if you could have dinner with someone who's dead, it might be Betty White now.
Wow, really?
She's fucking incredible. You need to just like hear that whole story, her life, her career, her everything that she did. She's so fucking awesome.
Okay, okay. Does she have the same birthday as me?
No.
Okay, who does?
Dizzy Gillespie,
Don't know him.
famous trumpet player. I even know him.
Okay.
In 1917. Samuel Taylor Coleridge, the author of The Rime of Rime, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Your favorite rhyme.
Indeed. My favorite rhyme of all time.
But no, we're getting a little better here. Ursula
Okay.
K. Le Guin, the sci-fi author of the Earthsea trilogy. One word, Earthsea, Earthsea.
Getting a little better indeed. For sure, for sure.
I had to knock that shitty one out because then the rest are pretty cool.
Okay, bet.
Alfred Nobel, the inventor of dynamite and the guy who bequeathed his fortune to start the fund that became the Nobel Prize.
Yeah, wow, the best Nobel Prize winner. Because he made it.
Didn't ever win one. I hereby give this prize to me. You should
And
inaugurate
also the
your
smartest people from all time moving forward.
set the bar where it stands.
Mm-hmm.
You got Carrie Fisher.
Okay, hell yeah.
Yeah, not bad, baby.
Princess
Swirly
Leia,
bra.
let's get it.
Swirly bra, swirly hair.
Mm-hmm.
Judge Judy.
That's hype. I used to watch Judge Judy on TV. She's a no-nonsense bad bitch, bro.
She's
Glad
80.
to have her in my corner. She's 80?
She was born in 42.
God bless, dude. And she's still a fucking firecracker, I swear to God.
Yeah, I just saw Nancy Pelosi face-to-face the other day. Shook her hand, took a picture with her. Unmasked.
Wait, you shook Nancy Pelosi's hand?
Yeah.
Wow. What the heck?
She's 80, whatever. Not looking good.
Right. For an 80-year-old, though, you know.
Oh, buddy. Looks like somebody animated a latex and broom witch model. It's not a good... Ooh, man. She was like... I don't know if she had to stretch her jaw or something before she talked, but while the congressman that she was there with was speaking, she was off to the side like...
Whoa. Interesting.
And I was seated in the front row.
Maybe she had caramel in her
Like one
teeth.
to this... I was maybe 3 feet from her for about an hour and 10 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
so that was
She
nifty.
was making demon noises.
No sounds, but it did look like she was unhinging her jaw a little bit.
That's because, yeah, you need demon ears to hear the octave she was speaking in.
Bahamut effort.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it wasn't in a human register.
Deeper.
Notice how there were no dogs.
She was speaking
that
in
were the room.
brimstone.
Yeah. You would have had
She
to
came
put
to the
her in
medical center to
reverse,
get the
too.
adrenochrome. Oh boy, I hope these walls are thick and my apartment mates can't hear anything.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, your next birthday sharing person, Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of
Okay.
Israel
Israel man, yeah.
in the 90s and then 09 until last year
Okay.
with that big crazy election thing they had going on. I got that
Yeah.
New York Times briefing email, so I was hearing stuff about that for a long time, and man, what was such a high level of interest dropped off so precipitously.
Yeah. Other shit's
And-
going on, I guess.
The last one that we've got for you?
Wait, can I guess?
Yeah, you can.
Is it Kim Kardashian?
It's Kim Kardashian,
That's
baby.
the one I knew, baby.
Yep. Kimberly
yeah.
Kardashian.
Kim K, baby. The most brilliant businesswoman America's ever seen. She literally does nothing and makes billions of dollars off of it. If that's not the American dream, I don't know what the fuck is, dude.
Legalize prostitution and let's get more dreamers out there.
Yeah, dude. She just, I don't know. You can hate her all you want, but anything you hate about her is just jealousy. She literally just had one little thing, and she comes from money, let's be real. That, of course, as do many
yeah.
people, but she took that money and she turned it into a goddamn fortune.
Oh boy.
Mm.
Sorry, I looked at the people who died on your birthday and
Okay. Let's see. Let's hear it.
Your birth
my
list is like
enemies?
85% as cool as mine, but your death list is pretty good in the sense that the quality's pretty low.
Okay.
Ben Bradley died in 2014, editor of the Washington Post for like 25 years.
Yeah, lame-o. Got it.
George McGovern, Democratic candidate for U.S. president in 72. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Why not?
Horatio Nelson, the hero of the Battle of Trafalgar.
Okay, he sounds like a cool guy. I'd be interested in knowing more about him.
Francois Truffaut, the French filmmaker who did The 400 Blows.
Yeah, again, don't know him.
Elliott Smith, singer of Miss Misery, who stabbed himself.
Elliott Smith, that name sounds familiar.
Died in 03.
Died in 03, okay. But I also might just be thinking of like Sam Smith and some other singing Elliott that has a similar voice. Sam Elliott?
That could be it.
Yeah.
Sam Elliott Smith, that's the one.
Yep, that's it.
Anyway, the last one you've got, 1969, Jack Kerouac. Ooh, that's a bummer.
Which one was Jack Kerouac?
He wrote On the Road, but he was another like beat era, I think a contemporary of Hunter S. Thompson.
Okay. Yeah, these are all people who I don't mind being my birth enemies.
Anyway,
Yeah.
now that we've played along with the advert that I was given,
Mm-hmm.
should we jump into this real segment, a real attempted, really real segment that we really
Yeah.
attempted?
Yeah, let's do it.
Bra, 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 bra. All of the lights. Transition music. Woo! Here we go.
What's the segment called?
Steve names things. Go, Steve. Name the segment.
The fellas talk about something.
Very good.
What
very
are we
good.
talking about?
He's still popping. Head is moving. We are wiggling. Okay, yeah. We figured that we would establish this time. Ooh, I got a little bit of a little baby Conan thing with the hair there. Popped
Yeah.
up with- I like it. Okay. Suddenly I'm a talk show host.
Not bad.
So we thought it would be nice to, instead of committing ourselves to doing a podcast with a direction, like Time Suck does with each of its episodes, or Sawbones, medical mishistory podcast that I used to listen to, or any of those that have an actual narrative and structure, that it might be fun to dabble in that and just do it for a little bit. Just dip our toes in, not be committal, to be non-monogamous with structured podcasting, if you will.
Right.
And also with the special lady in Steve's life. And while we haven't named the section yet, we thought it might be nice to kind of present, so to speak. No, we're not preparing anything, but maybe pull up a couple of tabs and talk to the other one and all of our listeners about a person or event or idea or conspiracy or whatever that seemed super interesting. And we're keeping them to like, I don't know, there's only like 5-ish minutes content maybe, and then we'll spin off our own shit as we want to talk about it. But we're not doing book reports. I ain't citing my sources. My life has enough of that already.
I got one source and it's called Wikipedia, baby.
I do have 4 for the first person and 5 for the second, but that's
Gotcha.
because I tend to go overkill. 6 for the second.
Wow.
And I'm going to assume that while I have 2, you have 1.
Correct.
Okay, then I'll go first.
Sure.
And we'll stagger it. And I'm going to start with the one that I was talking to you and Jake about, the original man, myth, legend that spurred off this idea. Robert Liston. Not Robert Lister. I was close. I think it's Joseph Lister. Was the guy who kind of pioneered germ theory and antisepsis for like surgical instruments. What's crazy, and this is a tangent, but here we go, story time. Around that time, which I'm not going to pull up him because that'd be a third person. I think it was early 1800s or something like that. Maybe even late 1800s. Might have been like 1890s. Scary late. It was seen as like a badge of honor that a surgeon's frock or, apron or whatever was covered with blood. It meant that you were like a busy guy saving lives, doing medicine. You would be doing surgery without gloves, of course, wipe your hands on your frock, and then walk into the next room to do surgery with the same tools still in hands. Not great for contamination, infection, that is why up until 120 years ago, if you had to get a limb amputated, you were just about as likely to die as if you didn't get it amputated, just because infection was horrific. Like, literally hospitals were breeding grounds for it. So Joseph Lister, we owe him a massive debt. Awesome. He figured out that you could, like, alcohol and heat kill things, and suddenly your patients live 9 and 10 times as opposed to 1.5 out of 10 times. So that's good.
Not bad.
Robert Liston, the first subject of our little chatty corner, is a surgeon, Scottish surgeon, and as I was trying to tell y'all, known for his speed in performing surgeries. He was super popular. It was prior to the development of anesthetics. I think that sometimes toward the later part of his career they had some, but it was not super adopted, and I don't know, old-timey doctors, he was probably like, the patient not feeling it slows me down. So they just didn't. And known for his incredible, it turns out not just like an Evel Knievel with an amputation knife. He actually was known for handling complicated cases with better than average success rates. Like, he really was a very good surgeon. It also happened to be that, like, time trials were his favorite shit. So he does hold the record for an amputation of a limb, which was 28 seconds. Described as, quote, the fastest knife in the West End by English surgeon Richard Gordon. He studied medicine at the University of Edinburgh. Fun fact, I almost took the medical licensing exam for the United Kingdom so that I could study medicine at that school. I loved it so much when I visited.
Just to beat his record?
That's what I was looking to do. I was going to find volunteers by any means necessary, volunteered or not.
Oh, yeah. Unwilling participants.
Yeah. We'll volunteer them for if we need to.
Yeah, of course.
So this was in 1818. He joined the Royal Infirmary of Edinburgh, earned the reputation of being like argumentative but unfailingly charitable. Modern anesthesia he used for the first time in Europe in 1846, and he also invented a bunch of things like some forcepses, some sticking plasters, a leg splint that's still being used. He died in 1847 also, so 1 year after using anesthesia. Wasn't a big thing for him.
Yeah.
And
probably what killed him.
I pulled up the story I was telling you about how he holds also the record for the deadliest surgery ever.
Yeah.
And I pretty much nailed this one, but here we go. Yeah, he was born in 1794 in Ecclesmachan, Scotland. Anyway, like I was saying, they've got pictures here where you can see there's the viewing gallery, old-timey dark wood lecture halls stacked up real steep and over like a surgeon's table. Very sterile, very clean. And they would do surgeries for viewing, for like instruction and whatever else. Back when it was like gentlemen medicine students and everyone's wearing frocked coats and ties to their lecture hall to learn medicine, but also where we cover the entirety of their content in the equivalent of like a week and a half in modern med school.
Right.
Like they kind of knew nothing and just passed on traditions mostly. But yeah. So while most surgeons at that time lost 1 in 4 patients due to his speed and skill, given all of their shitty perioperative management techniques, speed actually did help increase the chance of a patient surviving. Like, if you could get... Because as soon as you cut, like, they're bleeding, and these fuckers are like, I don't know, wrap the cowhide around his leg and, like, hope that now we can, like, go in with a tube, pop open a balloon, and block blood flow below a certain point. So, like, there's no bleeding during surgery, and it's crazy, and you can...
That's so insane.
There's some really cool surgical tech, man. But yeah, at that time, like, the longer you were open, the greater chance you were going to just literally bleed out from the surgeon doing surgery. So, he lost about 1 in 10. So, literally, like, 2.5 times better chances with him than other people.
So wait, this 28-second surgery, does that mean like, or the 28-second amputation, does that mean like limb is off in 28 seconds, or limb is off, wound is closed, like hands on the table, surgery is done in 28 seconds?
I don't know about limb closed. That might have been his assistant's job to like stitch up after, but I think it was like the cut through, separate muscle, cut appropriately so you don't just chop the artery through the bone. Like the process of even just... If you had a modern hacksaw, getting through a limb is difficult to do in 28 seconds, and that's not a medical procedure. So like the fact that he was doing this with like knives is pretty impressive because this was a leg amputation. So yeah, 28 seconds. Time me, gentlemen, he would say, holding up his knife. Time me. He literally was like, can I get a guy to fucking watch this shit?
Yeah.
Here we go. This one stands out above the rest. Robert Liston was performing a leg amputation on a patient lying flat on the table. As he brought down his knife, he was so focused on his speed that he took his surgical assistant's fingers, with an S, off along with the patient's leg. As he swung the knife back up, it clipped a spectator's coattails and he collapsed. Oh wait, it says as he brought down the knife off along with the patient's leg. Some of this in 200 years might not be quite as accurate, but maybe it is 28 seconds whole procedure from like knife makes contact to closed. Because this is saying he effectively was like, phonk. But anyway, as he swung the knife back up, it clipped a spectator's coattails and he collapsed dead. The patient and Liston's assistant
died because his coattails were clipped by a knife?
The patient and Liston's assistant both died after their wounds became infected, and the spectator who collapsed was later discovered to have died of fright, heart failure, and shock.
Wow.
The 3 deaths made Liston's surgery the only one on record with a 300% mortality rate. Yeah, not the only time he also had some infamy either. While amputating another patient's leg, he broke his personal record by finishing it in 2.5 minutes at that time. However, he got a little too excited in the interest of speed and took the patient's testicles along with his leg.
Oh, no. Sir, so we have good news and we got bad news. The bad news is that you've lost your testicles and the ability to have children. The good news is you were in the fastest surgery, the fastest amputation to ever take place.
And definitely the fastest leg and testicles amputation.
Yeah, exactly. So you have a few records under your belt now, but unfortunately you will have no legacy to pass these records on to.
Yeah, and his Wikipedia goes on about some of the things that he like contributed and his legacy. He had a couple of those gaffes, mostly due to speedliness. But on the whole, he's remembered as being pretty damn well regarded, yeah. And Joseph Lister, father of modern surgery. Turns out I also had one of those pulled up. Yep, fermentation, and that was what I was telling you about earlier. I guess I don't need to read into that. Also known as the father of modern surgery. So, inflammation, I'm pretty sure, germ theory. He did a lot. Important fella. Yeah. Anyway, Robert Liston, the fastest knife in the West End. The first presentation of a couple of fellas' thinky corner.
So, this guy, I mean, would you say he was influential in the world of surgery, or was he just kind of like a freak show?
Nope. He was well respected and generally considered to be one of the best at the time.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yep. Incredible what medicine is now compared to that.
Yeah.
You were literally brought into a non-sterile field in an auditorium to be made a spectacle of without anesthesia, as this dude timed himself cutting off your leg. And you hoped you didn't take your testicles with you. Yeah. He does a 360 glitch to get through the leg.
Yeah.
A no-clip wall hack. Yeah. So what do you think? Interesting fella, ain't he?
Yeah, I would say so. A daring fella. I feel like as much as he is a man of medicine and a man of healing, it sounds like he had somewhat of an ego and a disregard for the lives that he was helping.
The amount of times that ego is the primary driver in medical innovation throughout history is nuts.
True, yeah. I guess if it gets us there.
The like wealthy aristocratic white surgeon is like 80% of what drove surgical progress, at least in Western societies in the last 1,000 years, and yeah, they drove it so much. It's like a much lighter version of the, atrocities that happened in World War II and other wars that gave us huge insights into biology or neurology or whatever else. Like these people and their desire to be the fastest, the first, the newest, the best in surgery were just like playing with patients pretty goddamn recklessly by modern standards. However, that's what allowed them to make massive strides. Like that dude had 5 different inventions attributed to him, from plaster casts to like forceps to a certain kind of saw. Like, there's not a single doctor today that has that kind of variety of expertise and invention, like for novel tools, you know? It was the Wild West. And cowboys were dicks just like doctors. All right, so what or who did you want to talk about?
So the person who I've brought to today's little show and tell, which might be a better name for this segment, is a rock star by the name of G.G. Allin. I don't know if you've ever heard of this fellow before.
Maybe not.
So G.G. Allin has been called the most spectacular degenerate in rock and roll history, as well as the toughest rock star in the world.
Oh wow! I'm intrigued.
Yeah, he was a rock star primarily around the 80s. He was born in 1956 under the name of Jesus Christ Allin, living in a cabin in the woods with his very abusive family, I will say. I don't need to necessarily get into the details there.
I think it's probably formative. You should give a bit of an overview.
Yeah, sure. So, let's see this, blah, blah, blah. His family lived in a log cabin with no running water or electricity in Grovetown, New Hampshire. His father was an abusive religious fanatic who threatened his family with death, digging graves in their cellar and threatening to fill them in the near future. In an essay titled The First 10 Years, Allin wrote that Merle Sr., his father, wanted to kill his family in a murder-suicide. He despised pleasure and allowed his family very little contact with others.
Oh my goodness. What a happy fella.
Exactly. So this is how he grew up, but, you know, he was glad that he had this upbringing, and he said that it made him a warrior soul at an early age.
Okay.
So eventually he was able to escape this with his mother and brother and go to a high school where he was able to find music and start his musical career. Where eventually in the 80s he found himself hopping from band to band. Some of these bands that he was a part of before becoming a solo act were the Cedar Street Sluts, the Scumfucks, and the Texas Nazis. These are just a handful of the groups where he garnered his hardcore underground rocker reputation. However, in 1985, Allin decided to take his Madman title to a whole new level, and while performing a show with the band The Bloody Mess and the Scabs in Peoria, Illinois, he, for the first time, and when I say first time, I mean first of many times, defecated on the stage in front of hundreds of people. According to one of his band members, they said that I was with him when he bought the X-Lax. Unfortunately, he ate it hours before the show, so he constantly had to hold it in, or he would have shit before he got on stage.
He deliberately ate laxatives for the sake of this performance.
Yes, correct. So, after he did this, complete chaos broke out in the hall. Bloody mess continued. All of the old men in charge of the hall went fucking nuts. Hundreds of confused punk kids were flipping out, running out the door because the smell was, quote, incredible.
Confused punk kid. Is this like like an Elks Lodge type thing? They said old man and hall, and it makes me think like a Masons Guild or a Knights of Columbus or
yeah, I'm not too
like a
sure
VFW.
Probably just some small concert hall venue. I mean, he wasn't a big deal, but apparently after this,
it might also be like meeting hall, gathering hall. If he's talking about old dudes, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like how there are
true.
these like communal meeting halls for all of these different like clubs. Basically,
yeah, like
Mason. It might have been Freemason. It might have been Veteran.
Like an American Legion.
American Legion, Elks Lodge. Exactly. That's I think what this venue was.
I don't know, but I hope
that's
so.
That's the scale for underground punk. Like you get 150, 250 people. It's not like 3,000 for underground, for Bloody Mess and the Scabs. Like, I don't think they were pulling numbers.
Right. So eventually, Gigi. Oh, so the name Gigi Allin, like I said, he was born Jesus Christ Allin. Apparently, when his brother was very young, he couldn't pronounce it, but we call him Gigi, short for Jesus, and so that's where the Gigi comes from.
Makes sense.
But defecating on stage became a very regular part of Gigi's act, but he did not stop there. Before long, he wasn't just defecating on stage. He started eating the feces, smearing them around on the stage, and even throwing them at audience members. He also incorporated blood into his performance by pouring it onto his body and spraying it across the stage and audience. Is this getting to be too much for you?
Are you reading that line, or did you include, is this getting to be too much?
That was me.
Okay. Dude.
Yeah.
They called him the most hardcore rocker. He sounds just like he needs professional help.
The most spectacular degenerate rock star, yeah.
At least definitely degenerate. I'll give him that. All right, you got to keep going.
Sure. So naturally, the destructive nature of his sets often resulted in venues and equipment companies severing ties with Allin, as you can imagine. Police were sometimes called, especially when Allin began jumping into the crowds and onto his fans. Several female concert goers claimed that he sexually assaulted them after the shows, and some alleged that he attacked him during his sets. Now, these attacks during his sets, he was very proud of and would often say that he would do this during his shows, that he would, force himself onto both men and women in his audience. So, he also, one of his big proclamations was that he would die on stage one day, that he would kill himself on stage. And he said that this would be in Halloween of 1989. Unfortunately, he was in jail that Halloween. But then the next year, he said he would do the same thing. The other problem is that every Halloween until he died, he was in jail and was never able to kill himself on stage on Halloween until his eventual drug overdose in 1993 at the age of 36. However...
93. So that's... I don't know when, but that's at least 4 or 5 years in a row. He's like, this Halloween, I'm doing it. And then was locked up.
Every single time, correct.
What a fucking life.
There was one quote I wanted to... Oh, crap, I can't find it. I should have saved it. Let me...
This dude's a fucking lunatic. I'm looking at pictures of him.
Oh, yeah, you can find some of his, performances online, but I didn't want to put that actually in our video. Oh, sorry, okay. Allin also stated that at 35, he could sleep with 12, 13, and 16-year-old girls, boys, and animals.
16-year-old animals?
Yes, exactly.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, punk music is important. That's good. That's healthy for society for sure.
Yeah.
That kind of punk anyway is like what? Like I'm looking at some of the pictures from his performances and he's got a lot of blood on his head.
Oh yeah, blood and poop and everything.
Crazy he didn't die from sepsis beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Eating the shit. What is the artistic statement you are making?
You know what? I wish I knew.
Coprophagia.
If he wasn't dead,
is the term for eating poo.
If he wasn't dead, I'm sure we could get him on the podcast to interview him. Yeah.
We should get a Ouija board and contact Gigi Allin on the pod.
I agree. Yeah. Okay. I found one of his quotes. It's about killing himself. He said, "It's like I've got this wild soul that just wants to get out of this life. It's too confined in this life. I think that to take yourself out, you have to be at your peak. If you could die at your peak, your strongest point, then your soul will be that much stronger in the next existence." So that's why he wanted to do it on stage, because he wanted to do it at his absolute best.
How horrible would that have been for his fans?
Blood, assaulting people. This is what this man saw as his absolute high point in life.
Yeah, god dang. Wow. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
And
That's
yeah,
something.
that's
Good
G.G.
choice of-
Allen. He had a
Good
couple
choice
kids.
of bio.
Yeah. He was married at one point. For 7 years he was married.
If you'd said 7 weeks, it would have made more sense.
Yeah, right. But yeah, that's my little profile of a little rock star that I really look up to.
Look at this little rock star.
Yeah.
Okay, wow, that was a good one. Yeah, I like this segment. I'll say you learned some shit.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, everyone. I mean, yeah, if we can show G.G. Allen some love on Spotify, the Fellows Army, get out there, support a real artist.
We should make G.G. Allen merch.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, the honorary third fella.
I can't wait until enough fans are consistently dumping money into our Patreons for us to turn around and spend all of it on merch that we can send back out.
Hell yeah.
It needs to feed itself.
Full
and I can clothe
reinvestment.
myself. Yes, 100%.
Once we get those 21 cents out of Sounder, bro, we'll
Put it back in, get 28
Yeah.
out next time.
Yes, sir, dude. That's called investing.
And pennies become dimes, become dollars, baby. That's fucking compound interest. Economics. That's the
This is
math.
how it works, inevitably.
We don't know how, it just does it that way.
Stock market's
Anyway.
crashing, invest in our podcast.
Ooh. And then gold, and then Tesla. In that
Yeah.
order.
Yes, exactly.
Anyway, do you want to close this out? Looks like by my count we got like 8-9 minutes until we hit our quota. Remember, longer, thicker, girthier, and as we fucking told you, more guests, more planning. Since we went to bi-weekly with 1.5-hour episodes, it's been both. Not necessarily at the same time, but at least one of those.
Yes,
Every
very
episode.
true.
Yeah, this is quality. This is next gen fellas stuff. This
I think so.
This is what people are looking for. Anyway, want another bio?
Yeah, let's hit him up.
Full disclosure, I heard about this guy recently on an episode of Two Bears, One Cave, and
Okay.
decided I had to dig into him. This was after I had pulled up my sources for Robert Liston, and, sorry, Dr. Robert Liston.
Thank you.
And,
Lord G.G. Allen.
hey, we're both lords.
True.
Scottish lords, actually, just like Liston, my boy.
How about that?
That's our people. I think that means that we've inherited the title of the fastest knife in the West End.
Well, only one of us can be fastest.
Looks like we got a Highlander situation.
Looks like we got a surgery off.
We have to both perform it on the other person at the same
Yeah.
time.
And who? Yeah.
Anyway, Sapar Murat Niyazov, the
Mhm.
Turkmenbashi. So Turkmenistan, which, if you weren't familiar, only became a country around like 89 when the Berlin Wall fell and the USSR dissolved and all. 91, like right around then. Turn of that decade is when Turkmenistan became its own country rather than the Turkmen Soviet Socialist Republic.
Mm-hmm.
The TSSR, if you would. And this dude was like high up in the Communist Party in Turkmenistan, or the Turkmen Republic beforehand. Pretty much immediately like seized power when the oversight from the USSR collapsed, and then instituted himself as president. Then extended it from like 5 to 10 years. Then 10 years he just was like, oh yeah, I'm president for life.
Forever.
And yeah, so I'm going to have to jump around because I didn't even do any homework on this. I just pulled up the sources I wanted to use.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. I think that's the source first. So yeah, Turkmenistan under control of Russia for a long time before Soviet Union. And then 1991, after the fall, it became independent for the first time in 100 years. And the new president, Sapar Murat Niyazov, obvious successor. He'd been the puppet governor since 1985. However, it's a nation of 5 million. Some extra additional. It's like in that kind of like between Middle East and Asia area,
Mm-hmm.
near like Afghanistan and, I don't know, north or northeast of Iraq, like in that area, and is also the least densely populated of all those countries. It's more than 80% desert, primarily nomadic peoples, about, well, I guess it was 5 million. It might be now like 8.5 million people, but it's a gigantic land area. So pretty sparse. That's what he's taken over. And he's just a super interesting dude because he's living dictator right. He's really all of the things that, minutia maybe that most dictators wouldn't bother enforcing in terms of their own. All of them want to be forcibly praised and worshipped, and we all want to be loved. And if we could force millions of citizens to do that by law, we would.
Yeah, who would?
But this guy took it to a more flavorful and specific high, if you will. Yeah, so he titles himself, when he becomes president for life, the Turkmenbashi, which means leader of all Turkmen. And in Turkmenistan, the people are called Turkmen, which I like. I don't know, it feels clean. It's a good title. Yeah,
a little different.
Right? So some of the lighter ones here, we'll bounce around. He's got some self-aggrandizing.
Sure.
The airport in the capital city was renamed Turkmenbashi, which again is like technically a title meaning leader of all Turkmen, but it's also specifically his title.
Right, right.
It means him. So the airport was renamed after him. Dozens of streets and schools are all called Turkmenbashi. In 1998, a 670-pound meteorite landed in Turkmenistan, and scientists named it Turkmenbashi.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure that order didn't come from on high. The large port city of Krasnovodsk was changed to Turkmenbashi. You're starting to see where this goes.
Yeah, I think so.
But at some point throughout his reign, if you will, things start getting a little bit more interesting. For example, he starts renaming the months, and I bet you can't guess what January is now called.
Is it Turkmenbashi?
It's Turkmenbashi. Like January, on everything, every citizen in the country. It's November, December, Turkmenbashi, February. And then later on, and I forget which ones, he names more of them other things. April is now called Gurban Sultan Edza, after his mother.
These are so long.
Bread, once called chorek, like the noun bread, is also now called Gurban Sultan Edza, again, for his mother. Like, he named
is that just her name?
Food. I'm not certain.
Okay.
It's a complicated one. It's not capitalized on this source.
Right.
But April the month and bread the food are both named after this guy's mom.
Is this guy still? When was this happening? Oh wait, no.
I think he died in like 2006 or something. Like surprisingly late.
So a lot of these words are probably still around, I would imagine.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. And
right, like the name
more?
of bread has got to stick.
Right? Yeah. It's crazy.
Like every calendar, you think they're just going back to April? I don't think so.
Here, I need to find. Oh, here it is. In 2001, Turkmenbashi wrote a book, a combination of poetry, revisionist history, and moral guidelines, called Runama, Persian for Book of the Soul. It is now required to be prominently displayed in all bookstores and government offices, and next to the Quran in mosques.
Wow.
Memorization of the book is required to graduate from school and to get a state job or driver's license. School children spend one entire day every week reading it. Since all Soviet-era books have been banned and Turkmen libraries only have the Runama and other books written by Turkmenbashi. In 2006, Turkmenbashi made reading the Runama a requirement for entry into heaven.
So, wait, I might have missed something in the beginning. How exactly did he take power?
He was the puppet governor of this like republic within the USSR, and when it dissolved, he was just like, yeah, I'm the president now.
So there was just a power vacuum essentially, and he was like
already
the top dog at the time. Yeah.
Yep. No credentialing to get here. No. But these keep going. Like honestly, the hits keep coming, and we're not quite at an hour and a half. So if you want more, I got more.
Yeah. Let's keep going.
So yeah, after he made his book Runama a required reading to get into heaven, There's a 30-foot copy of it in Ashgabat, not far from a 50-foot solid gold statue of Turkmenbashi himself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always the statue. The 50-foot gold statue of himself is rotated constantly to face the sun. Which is a nice flourish, honestly.
Yeah, it kind of is. I kind of like it. The rest of this is too much, but that's kind of nice.
And then this has links to, on Flickr, another gold statue, and yet another gold statue. And not surprisingly, he recently won the Magat Maguli International Prize, honoring the best pro-Turkmen poetry, awarded by Turkmenbashi to Turkmenbashi.
So this is kind of like what we were saying in my fictional version of the whatever Nobel who I share a birthday with, except he actually just did it. Just invented a prize for himself to win.
Listen, if you wrote some books that included poetry and it became required reading to get into heaven, I'd say you were the best poet.
That's very true.
I'm pretty sure that on one of the other sources, I don't want to cross-reference all of them because we can cut it whenever, but when asked why he kept building more statues of himself, it was like, I don't want more, but the people, they love them so much, they keep asking for them, so I guess I have to build more statues for them.
We have the best statues. We have the most statues, and we have the best statues, and people can't get enough of these statues. You know what I told the people? You know what I told them? I told them, hey, we just don't have enough gold for the statues. And they said, but Mr. Turkmenbashi, we need more. And I said, you know what? Fine, we're going to make it work. We're going to find a way to get you these statues. And so we built some more. And you know what? We're going to keep building them until we can't build them anymore.
That's exactly the strategy. Yeah, you're figuring it out.
Yeah.
This page is a little bit more of a real biography, but looking at the pictures, it's a very, Soviet aesthetic with a lot of gold statues of him, very atomic age rocket shaped government buildings.
Right.
And there's the 30-foot copy of his book as the statue.
Amazing.
Unbelievable. Yeah, what a guy. And wow, truly incredible. But I have a couple more decrees, some laws, some weird strange acts, if we can just run through more rapid fire incredible Turkmenbashi moments.
Yeah, let's rip them.
Womp womp, classic Turkmenbashi. In 2004, he banned newscasters from wearing makeup because he said he couldn't tell the male and female newscasters apart and it made him uncomfortable.
That's incredible. Oh my god.
National decree. Country of millions.
I can't tell them apart and it makes me uncomfortable. That's amazing, dude.
After he quit smoking in 1997, he banned smoking for everyone in the country. Not a bad act.
Okay. Points on the board for Turkmen.
Points on the board. Yeah. In 2006, to mark Turkmenistan's Independence Day, Turkmenbashi gave each female resident a gift of 200,000 manat, which is about $38 in U.S. money, but I'm sure the exchange rate makes that more purchasing power. However, it's just very interesting that he gave every female in the country a cash gift on Independence Day.
Yeah.
And that was what he did.
Well, we don't have enough for everybody.
He banned gold tooth caps and gold teeth and suggested that, this is excellent, that tooth preservation could be more easily accomplished by chewing on bones, because he said he saw, when he was young, dogs chewing on bones and that they always had all their teeth. So,
that's science.
So he urged his citizens to chew on bones and not get tooth caps.
Jesus.
In 2000,
teeth are just made of bone, so if you rub more bone on them, they'll fill in.
In 2000, yeah, you're right. That's bone on bone. It's a transitive property of bone.
Yeah, dentistry is a hack science.
In 2000, he ordered a giant lake be created in the desert, along with a huge forest of cedar trees to moderate Turkmenistan's climate. No word on if that project was ever completed.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
And in 2004, he ordered a giant ice palace be built in the middle of the same desert, the Karakum, hottest location in Central Asia. It'll include a zoo with penguins. And I did see that they did end up building that ice castle, and here it says future home of some very unlucky penguins. So I don't know that the outcome was great for Skipper and the crew.
Right. This guy sounds like a 7-year-old.
Kid in a candy shop, but it's a country.
Like less mature than King Joffrey in Game of Thrones.
I'm not quite done. There are a couple of highlights I still haven't hit you with, and then we can say goodnight.
Sure.
So, he banned the use of lip syncing at public concerts in 2005, citing a negative effect on the development of musical arts because of recorded music.
Again, pretty petty, but like, I kind of like the spirit of it. Like, if you're performing live, you should be performing live.
So, yeah, I guess I agree with that. Right, in 2004, February, he decreed men should no longer wear long hair or beards. The long hair, I think, was another, like, tell apart from women thing.
Right,
the beards,
that's what
I
it
don't know
sounds
why.
like. Yeah.
The makeup we already got, the gold teeth we already got.
Especially in a Muslim state, I feel like Muslims often have beards.
And, right, yeah, no, fair enough. This one's just a silly little petty one, but all right-hand drive cars that were converted to left-hand, which is their roads, were banned because he thought that they would be more likely to cause accidents.
Okay.
Not a science thing. It was just like,
That's fine. I mean, that's like every car on the road in America has like the wheel on the same side.
I guess. Reason. But if converted to the right one, like if you bought a British left-hand drive and had it converted to the right, or right-hand drive and had it converted to the left for U.S. driving, that's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
He said that's illegal.
Okay.
But then the real one is the way this place cites it. It's limited to like by herding laws. But the way that I'd originally heard about him was he banned dog and cat ownership. Like for a while, people had pets because everyone in the fucking world does, and then at some point, a couple years into his life presidency, he was like, "Nah, not feeling it. No more dogs." And like, I think there were reports of, you know, mounds of dead pets from like
I would
purging.
Because
Because he all of a sudden decreed that nobody in the country could own dogs. Which is why he gets a fuck you in my book forever.
Yeah. Everything else, I was teetering, kind of funny, kind of bad, but yeah, after this last one, he's squarely in my shit list. Glad I don't share a birthday with this guy.
2nd November. Ugh.
Oh,
Not far off. Close. 2 weeks.
That's
less.
Yeah, it's too close, dude. Too close for comfort.
Yeah, garbage. I wish I could see a list of awards because that would be a fun thing to read. But yeah, no, fucking nuts. There were other like he renamed other months that I didn't explicitly read. He renamed some days of the week to like reference the poetry that he did. Yeah, wait. Oh, wait. No, I found it. I found the months. This is worth it.
Okay.
So January, he named Turkmenbashi, meaning himself.
Right. February,
he renamed Baydak, which is the word for flag.
Okay.
Like the word for the rectangle that represents the country and the word for February are also the same word.
Gotcha.
He renamed March for the Persian New Year, which is a holiday celebrated in March. But he named the month that.
That's not confusing.
Yep. Gurban Sultan was the name of Niyazov's mother, and he renamed April to Gurban Sultan.
Mm-hmm.
He named May into Magtim Guli, which is also... It was the name of a famous Turkmen poet, and also the award that he later gave himself for International Prize in Pro-Turkmen Poetry.
Yep.
June was named after Oghuz Khan, legendary semi-mythological founder of the Turkmen nation. July was named Gorkut after the hero from like ancient epic poetry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then it's a lot of like spiritual, legendary heroes and leaders from the history of Turkmenistan, which is interesting given that it's a country until 1991, and for 100 years before that it was controlled by other countries, and before that borders were different and ethnic groups were not in the same places.
Right.
So it's weird that he's got this thousands-year history, but yeah, September was named Runama, which again was the name of his poetry book. required reading for heaven, same as the month of September. You get the idea. October was named the word independence, and December was named the word bitaraplik, which is the word for neutrality, because he's saying that Turkmenistan is a neutral country. So he renamed December to be neutrality. And I think that might be where we step out of this fucking ridiculous time jump.
Yeah. I wonder what lasting
That's Turkmenbashi, babe.
Yeah, I wonder what if these policies are still in place, or just what these renamed things, or is it like he died and they're like, all right, can we go back to like normal now?
The fact that April, Brett, and his mom all share the same name is still pretty great for me.
Yeah, they can keep that one. The rest of it, though, we got to take a hard look at.
Cash prizes, just, oh my god. Yeah. And also, I'm sure, tons of atrocities, because he was a dictator for a decade and a half. Like,
yeah, of course.
Probably doing all the horrible shit, too. I'm sure not a ha 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 ha.
Yeah, he wasn't just a big, like, Dr. Seuss silly meme man. Like,
exactly. And, yeah, so hopefully give us feedback. We're totally checking all those YouTube channels. I saw Jake and not Jake, or Hamza and not Hamza. I don't know. People are having conversations with themselves. It's cute.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. We love it.
Give us feedback if you like story time, show and tell, thinky corner, whatever the fuck we're going to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know. And I think, unless you have any other updates for the people, that'll wrap it. All right, y'all. Catch you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, peace.